On is another edition of Travel the World as a Speaker. It is Wednesday. I'm looking at the wrong camera because that's just what I do. Ooh, I had to pull an all-nighter last night, so I'm a little tired. You know, when you hit a certain age, staying up late just doesn't feel the same way anymore. You need about a week to recover, and that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. It's kind of like when you travel. It's that jet lag thing. Maybe that's what we'll talk about today, is jet lag. Okay, I'm so excited that we're here. This is Travel the World as a Speaker, and we're going to do a bit of real talk when it comes to making money as a speaker. So we're going to talk about want to make money, don't get into speaking. I know I'm about to do some unpopular opinions right now. So I'm coming to you live here on the YouTuber channel. Hi, and on Instagram. Hello, everyone. And we do the two things I absolutely love, and that is talking about travel and talking about speaking, and talking about how you can leverage speaking so that you can travel. Now, today's show is going to seem a little out of place because, you know, it's supposed to be all positive. Everybody's going to make $1 million. But I kind of want to talk about, you know, if you really want to make money, speaking is going to be a challenge to you. And it's all based on a conversation I had last week with someone who says they want to make significant amount of money within 12 months. So that's what we're going to talk about when it comes to speaking. And of course, I give you a little bit of a travel story. We're going to do that. But first, I want you to go check out iFindUclothes.com. Every Monday, we send out a new batch of speaking opportunities. And I want you to go check that out right now. Okay. If you are needing speaking opportunities so that you can travel, make a little bit of money. You can make a lot of money with speaking. I'm just saying you can. But we got to talk about today. But if you want to travel and, of course, grow your brand, be sure to come check us out at iFindUclothes.com. All right, let me go ahead and switch over to this camera here. And let's talk about the topic of the day, and that is jet lag. Because I feel like I'm jet lagged. Oh my gosh, I hate jet lag. And I have seen so many things of trying to not have jet lag, and it never seems to work. Maybe it's just me. I've done the stay up on the plane, stay awake on the plane, not eat. I did read. Okay, so just for my travel people out there, and this is from the flight attendants, so we should trust them because they're doing this more often than we are. They say eating the food on the plane, you should avoid it because it is so layered with so much salt that it just keeps dehydrating you. And then, of course, you know how, you know, we really can't take our own water bottles. I mean, you can if you get it filled up, but you don't want to bother the flight attendant. They give you that little cup of water, and then they're gone again. And they won't give you the whole bottle for some reason. It's just like, can I get a whole bottle? And now with some airlines charging, yeah, you're just like on the cusp of complete dehydration. So one of the things I did read was not to eat on the flight so that you won't get dehydrated. And sometimes the food just ain't that good, just to be honest. But outside of that, all the other things when it comes to jet lag, it seems to never work because, you know, we're up so late the night before, we're packing, and then we're rushing, especially for international trips. I've just kind of gone with it. Now, I will say my last trip, I did not eat on the plane, and that was actually okay with me. I ate a huge dinner right before I got on the plane, and, you know, they try to feed you and then you go to sleep. It's weird. I did eat the breakfast, though. But it actually worked out very well. And I wasn't as exhausted as normal, but, you know, I did go in and I made sure I slept very well. But, you know, the jet lag thing, oh gosh, I think a lot of people, they have apps now. They have apps to help you get over jet lag. I'm just not sure if they really work. I think you just learn to just go with it, stay up as long as possible. Now, I will say, you know, if you're going international, don't go to bed when you're feeling tired. Try to stay up as long as possible, because it happened to me one time and I kind of gave in because I was tired. And next thing you know, I'm just so off schedule when I got back home. I think it was when I went to England, long time ago. So I'm like making spaghetti dinner at like 3 a.m. in the morning. Random, I know. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this topic of the day. Let me go ahead and pull up my little chair because we're going to talk about making money in speaking. And I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. If you want to make a significant amount of money in a short amount of time and you're very new to speaking, this is not the way to go. It really isn't. The beginning parts of speaking is just getting your name out there, figuring out what your hustle is. I hate to say it that way, but it is kind of figuring out what your hustle, figuring out what your message is, figuring out what your process is. And it takes time. It's not that it won't take a lot of time. It's you're going to put in a lot of energy and effort that may not pay off in that very first year. So you might want to find something else to do. If you're only looking at speaking for money, I highly recommend you find something else to do. I had a whole conversation with someone, a consulting session last week, and they were saying, I just want to make a significant amount of money to pay off some student loan debt by the end of the year. And it's like, okay, if we've never done this before, we don't have a brand, we don't have a message yet, it might take a good year just to figure it out and start making just a little bit of money. Not saying that you can't make any money. Is if you're trying to make a lot, if you're trying to hit six figures and you've never been on stage before in like the first 6 or 12 months, it's gonna be rough. It's not that you can't, it's gonna be rough. Now there are the few, we will exclude the exclusions, those talented people that know how to like hustle and get it going, and by next week they are running for president. Let's exclude them. But the journey is for somebody who's brand new. You got to look at your brand. You have to build out the websites. You got to figure out what you're going to talk about. Who are you going to talk about it to? You have to test it out. You have to try it. You have to practice. You may not be that great on stage. You got to get help getting on stage. You got to get on stage to practice. Then you might have to refurbish your brand because what you thought you wanted to do wasn't hitting. And so now that you found an audience that really likes you, now you got to go all in. And so now you got to rebrand again. And not really rebrand, but it's kind of a remessaging. And then you got to kind of put one foot in front of the other so people will know who you are. You have to stay consistent. You have to stay out there. And then the significant amount of money may come. And that might actually take 3, 5, 7 years. Most of the high paid speakers I know, it took about 7 years for them to kind of get to the point where they're making like serious money. 7 years. At the shortest, it's been 5. That's a long time. A whole lot of things can happen in 5 years. I mean, I go from 43 to 48 in 5 years. A lot of stuff can happen, my eyesight can go like within a year. So that's why I'm telling you, if this is something that you want to do, if you're willing to put in the work, it will pay off. This is not a get rich quick scheme. It is not a get rich in a year scheme. It's not really a get rich in 3 year scheme. It's a get your message out there in a couple of years and then work even harder to start bringing in the money. That's what you're going to have to do when it comes to getting paid as a speaker. If you're only in this for the money, there are so many other things you can do. You can sell leggings and make a good $10,000 a month. And I know people who've done that. And it didn't take a year for them to do it. But when it comes to speaking, it does take a little bit of uniqueness, creativity, the drive, the willingness to kind of stick with it, and it really will pay off, but you're going to have to put in a lot of grind in that beginning, and that beginning can be anywhere from a couple of years to, a few years. So if you're willing to do it, I'm here for you. I got your back. Let's get you out there. But if you're in here and you think you're just here to make some money really, really fast, you're better off becoming an Instagram model. Just saying. All right, everyone. You have an amazing rest of the evening. I'm going to go make some really disgusting but lovely, beautiful food tonight. Our theme is dip. Everything is going to be dippable. So we're having tortilla chips and cheese with and queso and meat and 2 types of quesos. We're going to have guacamole. We're even going to dip the dessert. I'm making a s'mores dip. Yep, saw it in my feed. It is the chocolate at the bottom, the marshmallows on top, and you take the graham crackers and just dip it and eat it. And we're going to have, what's the last one? We're going to have mashed cauliflower sprinkled with some cheese and grill up some brats, and we're going to dip the meat into the cauliflower. So it's all about the dip. Get your dip on. All right, y'all have an amazing evening. Of course, if you got any questions about anything, slide into the DMs. I get the notifications and I will be sure to respond back to you. And of course, go check out iFindYouClothes.com if you're looking for a speaking gig so that you can get on stage and market your business. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. And have an amazing evening. Bye.